Hello, hello, hello. Deborah Garrett, how you doing? How you doing? How you doing? Please excuse me. I meet my grandson Honey Bun for the only thing I've been living on today is coffee, and that was it. Laura's Garden, how you doing? I'm just trying to scarf down this honey bun real quick. Unbiased, how you doing? How you doing, Queen? Mike's Kate Out Garden, how you doing? Hello, Shawnee. I'm eating one of my grandson's honey bun. Only thing I've been surviving on was the cup of coffee I had during Miss T's live this morning. I realized I haven't eaten anything, and I was outside working and stuff, and I said I better grab something before I come on here. So I'm drinking something cold and eating a honey bun. Mm. Yeah, Shawnee, surviving on a cup of coffee. That was it. And the bad thing about it was black. It didn't have any cream in it. I love to have my hazelnut creamer in my coffee. I ran out. Ain't went to the store yet. How you doing, G Mama Grows Hard in the garden? And this time you got the honey up there. That's the last thing I was just doing. I was telling my wife just before she went out the door, she do what I tell other people not. I did what I told other people not to do. That you shouldn't go in your beehive after 3 o'clock, and it's a little chilly outside. I was outside working and stuff, and I just went a little further back, and I saw the bees, and they were coming in, but they wasn't coming in like they usually coming in. So I figured they were looking for something to eat. So I decided to feed them. I didn't look at my watch, my phone, or anything, and then, it was after 3 o'clock. I saw the school bus go down the road, so I knew it was after 3 o'clock, and I was messing with the bees, and they were coming in, and I got 6 frames of bees. I mean, 6 frames of honey, and the bees wouldn't leave me alone. That's why I tell folks don't go in the bees after 3 o'clock, because they be coming in 3, 4 o'clock. They're coming in. They settle down from flying out, getting pollen and all that stuff. I had to ride around in my backyard. I rode the whole length of my yard 3 times, just to get the bees to leave me alone, because I had my trailer behind me, and that had the honey in it and had all the other stuff in it, and the bees just kept coming. Then finally, third time I stopped in my backyard, not too far from the house, smoke everything up, get the bees away from the stuff I had, then drove to the side of my house where I usually come in at. Bees start coming up there, so I didn't take my stuff off. I stayed I think I stayed outside an extra 30 something minutes trying to get the bees away from me. And I took the honey and stuff and set it by the door so I could take it in the house. Bees start coming over there. So I said, I chased the bees off from the door, put the honey inside the house, then went back and clean up all my stuff, take my bee suit and stuff off. And they just kept bothering me. Now, I think I got 4 or 5 bees inside the house, inside the honey box. But hopefully that don't be a big problem. Told my wife not to open up. Don't be nosy. She might get stung. Mike K. Alex, welcome in. Broke Farmer, welcome in, bro. I want to thank everybody for coming in. Like I said, this was, well, that sounds like a real workout. Yeah, Mr. Unbiased, it was a workout. I was working in the yard. I was working the yard cleaning up. And then I just had this bright idea to take care of the bees. I took care of them. And after that, that's when I started doing exercise, running around, trying to get them to leave me alone. Oldham's Homestead, what's up? Miss Kim's Bling Bar and more. Welcome in. But anyway, I got the bee situation taken care, and I looked at the clock. It was time to get up on here, so I had to grab me something to eat and something to drink right quick. But this is Think About It. Now, last week the storm affected me where I was out of electricity for 10 days. But I bought a generator in 2020. It's been sitting in the shed all this time, and every now and then I go crank it up to make sure it's still working right, proper and everything. And I thank God for it. And like I told my wife constantly, I thank God I cut all the trees from around my house, because just in my front yard, I had over 15 pine trees. When I moved in this house, it was over 15 pine trees in the front yard. And the back was full with pine and oak and all that stuff. And if you look at some of my earlier videos, in the front of my house, there was always flowers and stuff out there. But I came to the point where I said, if you can't eat from it, I don't want it. My wife, she didn't like that, but that was my theory. If it can't feed you, it don't need to be out here. Then a few years later, I learned the flowers and stuff I had out there, we can eat. But I'm not into the flowers. But like I said, I'm glad all the trees from around my house. My neighbor has a tree that's dead. It's leaning against a live tree. And I hope she decided to get that cut down before we have another bad storm here. Because majority of storms usually come from the back of my house. But this Helen, this last storm we had, it came from the front of my house. That's why everything was basically pushed back, going to the rear. But majority of the time, everything's coming to the front. One time I thought it was blowing the roof off the house, but we're good. And I want to, all the people in Florida that went through the storm, I'm praying for you. And I was watching a video today, and what is his name? One of our fishing buddies, he was out there, and they were out there. Cars are riding in the water. They want to. It seemed like they were playing, having fun instead of trying to get out of all that mess. And the folks in North Carolina, praying for them as well. They had it rough, but for everybody, praying. But one of the things now, the things that I want you to think about is, I drove to 5 counties. And I was just looking around. And one thing that got me is, we as a people, we need to encourage our children to do things, to the type of jobs and stuff, because all the places I went and everything, there was tons of linemen out there. And majority of them were about my son's age. I say they were in their 30s, early 40s. That's the way they looked. And you had a few that looked like they were in age. But I drove to 5 counties, and this is 2 separate days. And unfortunately, I didn't see any black linemen. And I said, man, I can't believe this. I didn't see any black linemen. The black guys that get up and do the electricity lines and all that, I didn't see them. But now when it came to men cleaning up the leaves and cutting the branches up and stuff, I saw black men doing that. But I didn't see any linemen. And when we had the storm on that Thursday, Saturday, I went up to Harvey's where I'm at, and there was about 20 trucks out there, a lineman. I didn't see not one of color. I told my son a while back that you got 5 boys. I said you need to encourage them to go get a trade. I told them even if they want to go to college, I'll pay for it, but they have to get a trade first. I think about when I was in school, we had them things. We had wood shop, mechanic shop. We had different shops and stuff. In wood shop, I used to get in trouble. And mechanic shop, I used to get in trouble because the teacher would give us assignment, and I look at it, and because I started doing sheetrock when I was 8 years old, thanks to my uncle. And when I was in high school, the teacher said, we're going to build such and such, and we're going to do this. And we're in class for 45 minutes. I'll say within 10 to 15 minutes, I was finished with the task. While he was talking, I was doing it. There might have been 1 or 2 other people that actually were doing it, but I was actually finished because I had the experience of using my hands into building things. They don't have that in school now, unless you actually go to a trade school. We need to encourage our children to take up a trade. College is good. That's when my kids were coming up, when I raised these 5, I told them, y'all need to go to college. You go in the military, you go to college. Go in the military, go to college. 2 went to college, 1 didn't do anything, and 2 went in the military. So my thing is, I know it's hard because these kids got too much computer and all this other stuff, but we got to encourage these kids to get a trade. If you hear me all the time, I said, I want my 150 acres. I want 150 acres, and I want my 5 boys. I want them to have a trade. The girls can also have a trade too. They can sew, cook, whatever. There's a whole bunch of different things you could do that you can survive. And I want my 150 acres, and I want my grandchildren to be on it. And I want them to have a skill that if the electricity go out, I can call one of them, come fix the electricity. If I have to build something onto my house, one of them can help me come build. That's my mindset now. And I keep telling my son about it because that's what I want him to take up. Have your kids a trade, teach them something. When all my grandkids come here now, there's something I'm going to take them in the backyard and try to teach them. Whether it's putting something in the ground, whether it's harvesting something, or whether it's just simply building something simple. That's what we need to do. Let me say hello to some folks. I see some folks coming in. I'll put the link in the chat too if you want to come up. Happy Mac, how you doing? Everybody saying hello to one another. Those guys are grandfathers in. True enough, I'm biased. They are grandfathered in, but the thing to it is, you need to get the skill that at some point a friend can help you get in. That's unfortunate. Just I'll pay you to come cut my pine trees down. We was all praying upstairs when I had it. 2019. I had some guys come cut some trees in the back. One tree was close to the house, and I'm looking at them it was just me. That's the only reason I didn't cut it down. I got 2 chainsaws in the shed, and I call them because it was more than one, and I'm watching them cut it down, and I keep jumping. Whoa, 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 whoa! And the guy said, "We got this, got this." I said, "Yeah, you got it, but that tree's leaning towards my house." And I know they didn't have no insurance and all that stuff. And the guy said, "Oh, we got it. We gonna do the." I said, "Listen, listen, listen. Take that vehicle, push it against that tree, push it away from my house, and cut it." I said, "Don't cut it while it's leaning towards my house. Get it to face the other direction, then cut it." One thing about cutting trees is you got to learn them angles. You might have a 5-foot area for a tree to fall, and if you go left to right, you could tear something up. I'm not a professional in it, but I know how to cut trees. Odom's on Easy Street and Jen, how you doing? I took trade class electronic drafting and a career as an engineer. That's a good thing, Easy Street. Now, electricity, I knew about electricity as growing up as a child. You won't be able to see it, but that brown mark right there, I think I was 4 or 5, and I took a piece of wire and I stuck it in the plug, and it turned red. Actually, it didn't give a spark, but it turned red, and it was next to my grandparents' room, and I was scared, and I actually grabbed it with my hand, but my pinky touched it first, and that's the only one that has a mark, me pulling that wire out of the plug. But from that point on, I learned about electricity, and I wired here in Georgia. I started going to church, and it was a new church that was just starting out. And I told the guy that I'd do the electricity work. And me, in my head, black was always negative. I grew up thinking that the black side was always negative. But after 2 lights, I was putting the lights out in front of the church. After 2 lights, I learned that black was not negative. I learned that. I took the lights back to Walmart and told them something wrong with the light. They're not working. And we didn't have YouTube or anything back then. I just sat down and thought about it. I just messed up 2 lights. So obviously I'm gonna have to switch the wires around. That's when I learned that the white was positive. We learn from our mistakes. Yes, Odom's mechanic. Hey, my mother, she had a boyfriend in New York. He would take me to work with him on Saturdays. If I was out of school, he'll take me to work with him. From that point on, that's where I learned how to start working on cars and stuff. This was back in the late 60s. I learned how to start working on cars. And I worked on so many cars that in 1990, I told my wife, I'm not working on no more vehicles. I ain't working, because the churches I went to, I worked on their vehicles when it broke down. I was in Germany when my friends or somebody in church, their car broke down. I was fixing it. And in 90, I said, I'm tired of working on cars. So I said, the only car I'm going to work on is my own. That's it. Bought me a brand new Dodge Shadow. And that was it. Stopped working on cars and everything. Last year, I just found out that I know how to work on 18-wheelers. Never worked on 18-wheelers before. My son came home with his rig, and I was working on it. Today is Friday. Monday, we put a starter on his 18-wheeler. I didn't know. I honestly don't know how to work on an 18-wheeler, but I get it done. I did call Sunday Backyard Farmer. Last year I did call him, and I had to get his advice and his help and everything, because I didn't know what I was doing on one part I was doing. Look into mechanic. Mm. Girl, dad cooking up delicious welcome in. Mm. Those cars flood. Yeah, a bunch of cars that flooded in Florida. They really need to bring home economics back to the kids and use inside. Yeah. Uh, Three of my main classes was now I take that back. ROTC was my main class. I would cut classes just to go to ROTC. But wood shop, mechanic, and home economics. Those are my three top classes. And also Spanish. I'll tell you about that at another reason. The link is in the chat if anybody want to come up. Let me see. Anybody? Yes, sir. My little cousin, one plumber. Yes, my little cousin, one's a plumber, the other is trying to be a electrician. I can't remember the name of it when you have to work for 2 years under someone before they can do the job. Yeah, I know what you mean. Happy Mac, I know what you mean. Journeyman. That's it. Electricians, my goodness, I can't text either. It's all right. Yep, you can always fall back on your trade. If a professional job does not work for you, you can earn more in a trade. That's absolutely correct. Once I left the military, if I didn't find a job, I was most definitely going to be working on cars again. I was going to get into something that I could do, work on cars or build. But then I found a job at the prison system. That was it. I should have went back to building houses instead of going to the prison now. In Atlanta, good electricians are difficult to find. That's absolutely true. It's hard to find a good electrician now these days. Storm Radio, how you doing? I am uh, I am eternally grateful that I went to Scarlet Oak Vocational School for Broadcasting Art in Sharonville, Ohio. I ended up working in radio. That's a good thing too. That's a good thing. Homestead Rachel, how you doing, young lady? I could repair my okay. I could repair my car, but transmission and engine, I always hung drywall and built yard sheds. That's true. And I want to build a shed now. The only problem is I can't do all that stuff like I used to do. I can if it's partly built or I got somebody to help me with it, I can do it. Everybody saying hello to one another. That on my videos, that red barn that you see that I said my goats was in, I built that by myself. I didn't get any help with that. I built that barn. I think that's 16 or 20 by 8, something like that. 10. Miss Shirley OG, welcome in. Ruthie, this and that, how you doing? Welcome in. Growing with Hudson, welcome in. The everyday life of a OCD-ish chick. How you doing, Nikki? Now those that have, a shade tree, as they say, shade tree mechanic, where they just do something to do it, but 9 times out of 10, it may be right, it may be wrong. There's a lot of people that are shade tree mechanics. They didn't learn professionally, but they learn sifting with soil and more. How you doing? Yes, you got it right. It's just that I took my time, Nikki. That's all. All right, wait. Uh, any questions, anything? Because, like I said, we got to encourage our young people to take up a trade. It's good. It's good that the young children, they know how to work electronics, and uh, I'm not bragging on my grandson, but he worked on electronic correction. He had an iPad when he was not an iPad. That's another little device he had, but he got his first iPad just before he turned 3. I still have the iPad now. And there she go, Miss Shirley. How you doing? Welcome in.
Hello. Good evening, Jigs. How
How you
are
doing?
you?
All
All
right, and
right.
you?
Well, you finished getting that yard all cleaned up?
No, ma'am. It's too much work to get done. I'm doing piece by piece and a little bit by little bit.
I
I
was
had
out today and I had the deer meet me.
oh
And we were having a Mexican standoff of who was going to leave first. And I was like, I got here first. I was like, they came through again last night. They ate all my okra down a second time. No, this is the third time that they ate my okra down. And the squash disappeared. So the only thing I got left is peppers. They don't like the peppers. I'm glad they leave my miwok kumquat go, but they did eat my tree collards. So they've been feasting. There's no apples on any of the trees, so they've had their fill. So I was like, I hope you're good for the winter because you're not getting anything else. And really, there's nothing else left. They don't like the ginger and the peppers and stuff. So I was like, well, at least they gave me something.
there's
And
nothing in my food
that
forest.
pot, yeah, that pot I made of the challenge hashtag collards and
Mm-hmm.
cabbage. Well, I had did my green star. I got that wrapped up like an envelope. I got so much chicken wire and stuff around that. But I had a smaller pot. They went through that pot. I think it was a raccoon because they looked like they dug it up. So
Oh
yeah,
man.
that pot is gone. So and the weather, the way it got down to 39 degrees last night, but it got up to 71 today. So I mean, this weather's so crazy. I don't think my greens is going to get too much bigger than what they are. So
I hope mine do. I just see. I went out there as I was passing the day. I see squirrels are now walking inside of it.
okay.
I need to go ahead and put that cover on it. I got a cover for it. I
Uh,
said I'm gonna let it grow a little bit, but I need to go ahead and put the
wait a
cover
minute.
on it.
I'm at my granddaughter's house. And look who I have.
Hey, Precious. Hey,
There you
Precious.
go. There you go. Say hi to the people.
Hey,
Yeah.
Precious.
She watching Miss Rachel. I don't know what it is about that woman, but she's enthroned with Miss Rachel. She
Hey.
came over and she gave me my kisses and she gave me my hug. Where you going? Uh-oh. Wait a minute. I'm watching the baby. And she walking now, so she got me running. No, you can't go up the stairs. Come on. No, come on. Come on.
I know I'm behind in the chat, but growing what I
Yeah.
eat, what we're thinking about is we need to encourage these young people to get a trade. We need to
Yeah.
encourage these young people to get a trade now because I went to 5 counties and I was watching people fix the lines and do the work and everything. I haven't seen one person of color fixing any kind of wires.
Yeah, we got a lot of construction here, and I felt the same way about the construction crew. I didn't see but one color in those orange vests, and I was
Yeah.
like, wow. I got a friend right now. He's going to be an LPN because he said he doesn't have the 2 year time to go for the RN. So he said he want to at least get a foot in the door because he's a CT now. So he said he wants to move up. So he's going to go ahead and take the LPN course because it takes only 8 months. And he said after that, he get his finances back together. He want to go for the RN. So it's best to get a trade that doesn't cost you 30 to 40 to $60,000 or even
Yes.
more, nowadays. And we need these tradesmen. We need good plumbers. And I heard you earlier about electricians. I do
Mm-hmm.
have a couple of friends that I can really call when I need them: plumbers, electricians, carpenters. That's a respectable trade, and it pays well.
Yes, it does.
Bricklayers, masonry, But these kids feel like working with their hands. They don't want to do that. They rather tap on that keyboard all day than
That's
to
it.
do some of these trades. Because some of these trades, I've seen the parents try to pass down from generation to generation, and they like, I don't want to do that. So
Right.
it's like it says, certain artisans, they're dying out slowly.
Right.
But wow,
I
you know,
I know that we're not in the caste system. That's what the
yeah,
Indian can't say Indian. Those other people, they're in the caste system where
okay,
when the daddy was a trash man, the son gonna be a trash man. His son gonna be a trash man. If you got
yeah,
money, you're always gonna be above. I'm not
yeah,
saying we be like the caste system, but we need to encourage our children to pick up a trade. No, you don't have to be a trash man. You can start out as a trash man, build a house, stuff that you desire, be able to build it and take care of it. Then you don't have to rely on other people. You only call somebody for something that you can't do.
yeah, yeah. My nephew, he's a trash guy, and him and his wife just upgraded to a bigger house because the boys are getting bigger, doing just fine. And not only that, he finds a lot of these big pots. I told him, I was like, bring your auntie some pots. I said, I don't want no little ones. Bring me some big ones. Cause he said they find them on the curb all the time. So
Right.
I told him he wanted me to help him with his garden. I said, you can keep some of them pots and teach your boys how to grow stuff. They big enough that they can plant and water stuff and see how it grow. So
That is
yeah.
true. That is true. Bayou Sugar, welcome in. How you doing?
Yeah.
Let me see. Let me. Oh, these
Yeah.
children.
But you
Okay.
know what though, I saw a
Everybody-
lot this year, Jigs, is a lot of lawn care services. They have stepped up. Before they used to have just the walk behind push mowers. Now they got these zero turn with all the gas trimmers and hedge trimmers and all this other stuff. So they have been able to make enough money where they can upgrade and put a tractor holder on the back of their trucks and stuff and haul their stuff around. So
Right.
yeah.
American trucker wife, welcome in. Well, even when I moved to this town right here, there were a lot of people doing grass cutting. There was a lot of
Yeah.
Hispanics as well, and people of color
Yeah.
doing grass cutting. You don't see that
Yeah.
anymore around here.
Well, we still got them over here.
There's only one guy, but then he just came. I think he just started cutting grass within the last 2 years. But you used to see guys cutting grass all the time around here. That was their little business. They don't do that now.
Okay.
And a lot of the Mexicans that I used to see now, they're building houses.
Yeah.
They're into building houses and stuff now. You don't see too many white or black building a house. It's more Mexicans now.
Okay.
But like I said, we got to encourage our young people to take a trade, do something besides that computer.
Yeah. But I can say one thing about I've seen the number of women buying their own houses and cars and starting their own businesses. Most of my girlfriends have their own business, whether it's doing hair or nails or whatever. They have their own business and they're making their own money. They're their own boss.
That's true.
I wish I could have been able to come up with a plan for like a florist,
Right.
to sell plants and stuff like that, so
Now,
if I'd have knew then what I know now, it'd have been a different story on what I'd have been doing.
that's
Because
true.
I think I could do that forever, but hey.
Well, that me being in the yard with animals and garden, that we all got different lifestyles and whatever, but
Yeah.
Me leaving the military and dealing with the VA and all that stuff, I didn't get my right mind until I start hanging with the animals in the back.
Okay.
Kids tend to eat better when they grow their own food. It's exciting and adventurous to them. Yes, if you
Yeah.
start the kids out young, they'll do it. We had a birthday party for my grandson in the backyard, and there was a little boy. Everybody trying to slide down the slide and everything. He went over to where the goats and the chickens was at, and he wanted to go in there with the goats and play with the goats and looking at the chickens. What did I do?
Yeah.
Yeah, I said, "Hey, I like your son." I gave his mom a whole dozen eggs. I said, "Here you go." He
Mhm.
wanted. I said he can come over anytime and play with the animals. And I
Yeah.
think he had to be 3 years old or something. But he kept
Oh
going to the
wow.
animals. He didn't want to. He didn't want to slide down the slide and all that stuff with the other kids. He kept going to the animals.
Mm.
She is Sunshine. How you doing? Welcome in.
Yeah. So yeah, it's these kids nowadays don't have interest in horticulture at all. I remember when we were kids in school, they used to give us a cup and a seed, and we had to grow it and nurture it. And
Yeah,
that counted as part of our grade, in
yeah.
regards to being able to grow your own food. And I was like, when did they stop that? Because that's a
Well,
life skill that everybody needs to know.
that's part of this new school and stuff. They don't do stuff like that. But
Yeah.
like I
Yeah, just
said, when
like
I
they
was in
don't
school,
person.
we had we had the cup where there was two cups. One you had at school and one you take home. The
Yeah.
the boys was actually taking what's
Yeah.
it was I think it was home ec or whatever. But the girls had the doll that they treat
Yeah.
as a
That's
baby or
home ec.
whatever. They took that home and bring it back. And the boys, we
Mhm.
had flowers. I mean, not flowers, but little vegetables that we did one in class, and we took one, we did it, and we take it home. And I think after 30 days, we had to bring it back to see, let them everybody see what it looked like. And that I enjoyed.
Yeah.
CC Texas Garden, welcome in.
Come back here.
We're
No,
not
no,
talking
no.
about
Nana's not
watermelon,
gonna chase
CC.
you. My foot. Nana not chasing you. Okay. She
But
walking and moving real fast now. I told her I'm not gonna run behind her. She gonna
hey,
be all right.
I
Be like,
understand. I
yeah.
understand. She'll run so far, then turn around and look back at you.
She's imitating the Miss Rachel on TV, and she's like, "Move on back." And they tell them on the bus to move on back. So
The baby is
she got
babbling so
Rachel down pat. And
the
that's what I
baby
love
is
about this
babbling
one.
so
She
cute.
likes the grass. She likes to walk outside barefooted in the grass. At first, she didn't want to touch the grass. The first time my mom tried to stand her up on the grass, she kept raising her legs and feet up like, I don't want that. I'm not touching that. And now she likes to go out and pick and pluck the grass and like to feel it in between her toes. So she had to acclimate herself to it. So I'm just
Uh,
waiting to get her out in the garden.
no, CC, I didn't get my first car until I was 22. I got my first car when I
So,
was 18. My father gave it to me on a Monday and sold it on a Friday. So I never had a
Gigi, wait a
chance to
minute.
drive it. But
No, 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 no,
but when I
no.
joined the military, I got
Yeah,
me a car at 22. And yes,
stay that long.
CC, it was a good car, a Pinto.
I had a Pinto. We were sitting here and a huge herd of deer ran through here. I'm like, look. And I mean, it was about, I don't know, 10 or 12 of them. I mean, they was running through here.
Are you in this? You in the city?
Yeah, we're in the city.
Hmm.
Hmm.
They must be cutting down all the wooded area there too, huh?
No, not really. Not in this particular area. It's a lot of trees. It's just that this neighbor has a lot that
I know.
goes from here all the way back here. is her backyard alone, and the deer, she bought all that land, so wouldn't nobody build a house back there.
I don't blame them.
And deer run back and forth through here like as if it's open season. And I'm talking about these ain't no little ones. These is huge. We pulled up, there was 2 in the front yard, and we get in the backyard, there's a herd running through the back. So yeah.
Cece says she wish a deer would run up in her yard. Cece,
Oh man,
deer's coming in my
they
yard.
would have a field day.
Deer's running in my yard. The only problem is I got neighbors. If I shoot over 22, I'm liable to hit somebody's house, and they ain't gonna like it.
No. Okay.
I was in my front yard, and the deer came up on the other side of me, and I believe the deer knew I couldn't fire anything because I put my hand in my pocket. I said, "You better be glad. You better be glad you're close to that house, because if you wasn't, I would have had some beers in the freezer."
Yeah. And see, like they used to have an ordinance in my neighborhood where the hunters could come in the fall, like around this time of year, and thin out the herds. And then they didn't pass it for the last 2 years. And so now those deer have tripled, and they're coming into the yards more so now, because I only had problems with the deer in the last 2, going on the 3rd year. All the years before that, I never had problems with them coming in the yard. I might have had a few of the groundhogs and raccoons, but that was nothing compared to what happens when a deer come through your yard. I mean, he's stripping everything.
Everything.
And now they just, they out in broad daylight. They be walking down the street looking at you like.
I didn't know deers eat citrus until this week.
Well, they don't mess with the Meyer lemon because them thorns on there.
These got thorns. I had over 20 something oranges out there, and after the storm, I come back and all the oranges are gone except for 3. I took one off and one off the ground, and I came back the next day. The rest of them were gone. I said, "Man,
oh wow!"
And yes, CC, I don't have one, but I'm getting one.
Yeah, they making me on the verge of buying a BB gun, because they come out there now when I'm gardening. They used to come either at dawn or dusk. Yeah, ball. BALL, ball. Yeah. But now they just come out anytime they feel like it now. Well, it's going to have to be dawn or dusk. If they hungry, they come and looking for food.
Yeah. They took it I never had a problem because my backyard is not fenced in. They cut all the trees down about a quarter mile, over a little over a mile from my house. They cut all the trees down. And from that point on, deer's been all up in my backyard and everything, and they've been hurting the daylights out of me. I'm trying to get my handyman to come now so we can put some poles up, and I'm putting electrical wire out there so I'll have something next year so they don't eat all the buds and stuff off the trees.
I'm trying to make a deal with my local orange box store that's not far from me about getting some damaged fencing, whether it's chain link or whether it's chicken wire. I told him I'll keep bending it back and forth and straighten it out. I got a electric staple gun. I will build some walls up around my flower beds. My vegetable beds, so I can kind of get something out of it. Because stop, JJ, no. They wait till you get on the phone and then want to start doing stuff.
Bayou Sugar said Miss Shirley left the door cracked. Don't let the deers in. Never mind the come close, get to the freezer full.
I would love some venison. Believe me, I've had venison. I love it. It's good.
Yes, it is.
I got friends who are hunters, and they know how to cook it and get that gamey taste out of it and season it and have it all nice and tender. I done had venison stew and a few other ways, and it's absolutely delicious. And the way they eat in my garden, They ought to be nice and tender. Okay,
Okay.
they full of vitamins and minerals after eating up on my
I,
raw. I
I,
love my okra too. The okra was so good. It hurt my feelings when they went there. I was watching Cece doing her video, and she was pulling off okra, and she said, "Look at this nice big red ones." I just wanted to snatch them all out of her hand. I was just like, "No."
yeah, I brought deer home. My wife said, "I ain't eating that. I ain't eating that." I said, "Well, more for me." Man,
I
I
know that's
fried that
right.
fella up, put it in some gravy and everything. She said, "Well, let me just taste a little piece. Just let me taste a little piece."
Hmm.
She tasted a little piece and she ain't stopped eating it yet.
Ah, yeah, yeah. It's just like goat. The first time I ate goat, somebody slipped me some goat we were eating, and they was looking at me smiling. I said, "Why y'all looking at me?" And I was like, "This is good. Can I have some more?" And they said, "Do you know what you're eating?" I was like, "No, but it's good. Can I have some more?" And they was like, "Okay, it's goat." And I was like, "What's your point? Can I have some more?" That's
CC, the two-legged animals over here know not to come in my yard,
mm,
and I ain't afraid to tell them.
mm.
I
My
storm
neighbors been
notice.
pretty
Look at
good
that
though.
precious
They'll
blade.
ask me. Most of the guys over here ask for jalapeno peppers. They said they don't like the cayenne; it's too hot. But the jalapenos, come here. No, no, oh, no. You think it's funny? She's trying to
Yeah,
run and she laughing
goat is
at
good.
me.
Goat is good by CC. Whenever I get male goats in, hey, they for sale. I only keep one or two male goats. I don't keep a bunch of male goats around my property.
They eat up everything.
Nah, I don't want too much family messing with each other. I like
Okay.
Nubian goats and I collect the milk and all that stuff too. When my wife learned how to make cheese and all that, I'd be better off. But
Oh, goat cheese. Oh yeah, that's
yeah,
good. Mhm.
barbecue go. I don't know what kind of CC. I don't know brown and brown and skinny. Okay, but
I can't see the chat.
okay. Oh, Bayou was telling. I don't know what kind CC. All I know is brown and skinny. Hmm. No,
What's the
man.
life expectancy for a goat, Jigs?
Goats last. Goats stay as long as you're feeding them right and letting them do their thing. They'll last a good while. Uh, the goats. I think I only lost one goat out of 13 goats. I only lost one. No, I take that back.
Okay.
I lost two. They were small. The daddy killed one of them because I said he was big enough to go in there with his daddy, and I think the daddy said, "You always whine and you always whine." I think the daddy just stumped him out.
Oh my
And
goodness, his own child. Okay.
hey, the male goat want to eat. He don't care about nobody else. And
I see.
male, the male, that male goat was just he always crying. So
Hmm.
I think the daddy got tired of it.
Oh wow.
We talking about
How big
rabbits
was it?
lately. Say again.
How big was the baby that you
Oh, it
took
wasn't.
out?
Uh, the he was about 3 months old.
Oh wow. What they call them, kids?
Yeah, I keep
Hmm.
I keep them separated until they can't go through the fence anymore. Uh, once if they can fit through the fence, I don't leave them in there. I put them someplace smaller. But once they get to the size where they can't go through the fence is 4x4s. When they can't get through that, then I
Hmm.
put them in with the family. The boys are with the boys,
Okay.
girls with the girls.
Okay.
We
Now they
talking
said the
about
male
rabbits.
goat's milk it stinks.
Yeah. Uh, you usually don't milk a male goat, but you can. But the milk is very raunchy. It is
Why
very,
would you want to
very.
milk a male goat if you got raunchy milk?
Uh, we ain't gonna get in that, Miss Shirley,
Okay, all right. Just a question. All
because
right, don't
because
get
I
me.
see I see Cece up here, and she gonna be throwing them paws at me left and right.
So you
Easy
got goat
Street,
milk
y'all
for
have
cereal.
a great weekend dinner. Okay, you have a good time too, Easy Street. In the background cleaning. All right, Ruthie. But I like, me personally, I like goat milk better than I like cow milk.
I do too. To me, it's easier to digest.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
What, Paul?
It's amazing that if you're lactose intolerant, goat milk don't bother you.
Mm-hmm.
So it's got to be the enzymes that's in cow's milk that makes a difference.
Yeah, and I think they give a cow too many minerals that they shouldn't have. But with the goats, I think I give my goats a shot twice or once a year. But
No.
I give them Denacia Surf to keep their system clean, to keep the bugs out of them and all that stuff. So I don't give them too many different chemicals. Can I eat jackrabbit? You can eat rabbit. You can eat a jackrabbit.
Yeah.
That's gonna be one of the things I put on my property too is rabbits. I got a whole bunch of wild rabbits running around here, but I don't want that one. I'm gonna
Well,
hit up.
after Naked Gardner won that watermelon wars using rabbit poop, a whole lot of folks gonna be using rabbit poop next year for the watermelon wars. It's gonna be a heck of a challenge next year. I can't wait. I thought they was talking trash this year after seeing Naked Gardner's secret about rabbit poop.
Right.
I was like, it's gonna be on like Donkey Kong next year. I'm gonna be cracking up at these folks.
Well,
I was gonna show watermelon I was growing till the deer came and ate every single leaf and blossom off my plant. I was so hurt. I was like, I'm so glad I didn't show him this plant. I'd have been too embarrassed. I was like, wow.
No, I took and planted where I have my goats and my chickens at, and all that manure was in the ground. That's where I planted my watermelons at. And if my grandchildren didn't help me, I think I would have won the watermelon war.
What they said, they meant well, Jigs. They meant
no,
well.
they didn't. No, they didn't. They just didn't know it. They said, "Pop, I'm gonna get you." I don't know what for, but they wanted to get me. I think David the Crapper gave him a whole bunch of candy, told him to go cut it for me. But I can't complain. It was 44 pounds when they cut it.
Oh, wow.
I had 144 pounds, 132 pounds, and those were the ones for the watermelon war. I had them totally separate from the other watermelons.
Okay.
And then I ended up with a 22 pound. That was the final weight for the ones that I put on the scale. I eat rabbit, but never knew what kind I ate. Okay. Miss Shirley J3 is still salty. I ain't salty about that.
I had a pet rabbit. That's the reason why I wouldn't eat rabbit. I had a pet rabbit and it was Snow White. We call her Snowball. And then one day my stepfather played a little mean trick on us. I was like, oh, this looks like chicken. And everybody turned and looked at me and I was like, where my rabbit at? And he was like, we don't know where the rabbit at. I was like, it better not be on this plate. I started crying at the dining room table. And then my stepdad pulled the rabbit out. He said, I wouldn't do that to you. I said, I don't know. But, but yeah, but it was rabbit, but it just wasn't my rabbit. Yeah.
I was tricked into eating, well, not just me, but everybody was tricked into eating rabbit. My grandmother made chicken and rabbit. We thought she just made chicken and smothered chicken, and we was eating everything. I was, Mother, can I have some more chicken and gravy? I went in there, got me some rice and chicken and gravy, and I just told my grandmother straight off the bat. I said, "This is a big thigh." Oh boy, that ain't not gonna eat it. Then when we were cleaning up all the dishes, she said, "How y'all like that rabbit?" Everybody said, huh? I ain't no rabbit. She said, y'all just ate rabbit. I said, oh man. Everybody, I ain't no rabbit. Then when I was in the military, went to chow. That was the meal for the day was rabbit. I said, oh well. I enjoyed it and been eating it ever since.
Mm. Now, who was that? Odom was talking about. What was he eating? Possum or? That was possum stew. He was talking about possum and gravy and biscuits. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know about that.
CC, 44 pound, it's a loser, but it's a winner compared to CC's Texas Garden.
Ooh, no, you didn't go there.
Well,
I seen the vines all over the yard.
She on here picking.
I saw the vines.
She on here picking.
The vines all over.
She on here picking.
She got a jug at you, Jigs. It wouldn't be CC if she didn't.
She ain't here picking, and her little watermelon wouldn't even put a number on the scale.
Yeah, she couldn't even find out where the vines was running to. Yeah,
I could have gave you my postage scale, CC, and it still even wouldn't register on that. He said, "Yeah." Oh. CC broke had me made me mad because he said you won. I thought he was for real. I was cussing him out in my car. CC, this light right here weigh more than what your watermelon did.
Oh wow. Moo there everywhere, moo. What we doing on McDonald's?
Bro was getting back from he's getting back from his TOB. I'm a winner. Get free seeds, rabbit and poo. Oh no. That's because you were the lowest one on the totem pole, CC. That's why you're getting free seeds and poop. But if you want me to, CC, I'll send you some goat poop. Goat poop works good too. Miss Shirley.
Well, I got chicken. I got chicken poop. I'm Miss Shirley, OG Gardener. I'm in Cleveland Heights, Ohio. I do love to garden. I do love to travel, and I do dabble in a little arts and crocheting. I also like to cook, and I really like to redo house plants. But most of all, I like talking to all my friends and family. And all y'all can do is show me that you love me just a little bit. And I'm live every Thursday, Eastern Standard Time from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. every week. And I'm back, and I will be there next week.
Now, CC, I would have sent it to you until you put that last comment in there. See the J3. I used to beat you next year. CC.
Thank you for having me, Jigs.
You're welcome, Miss Shirley.
All right, I'm going to get the baby ready for bed. Talk to you later.
Right, have a good one.
All right, bye-bye.
CC, ain't nothing you can beat. Let me stop. Frugal Mama, welcome me. CC, you know what I want to say, but I can't say nothing like that. But anyway, I want to thank you all for coming in. I've got some bee frames over there to I gotta harvest that honey. I probably do a video because like I said, I was outside busy working and everything. And like I said, when I'm working, I don't think about getting my camera. So I have to do the honey for JGD. I got 6 frames of honey, and I'm gonna get that. I don't know. I said I'm gonna do it tonight, but I might wait till tomorrow to do it because it takes some time. And since I brought it in the house, I'm gonna have to put a tarp down and take everything out and all that. It's easy if I do it in the shed, but I don't do it out there anymore. I bring it in the house to do it. So it'll take me a little time because I have to set everything up to make sure everything is clean and I don't get any honey all over the floor and everything else. But other than that, I don't know. I'll probably try to rest tonight since I was working so hard today. I'm not going to hold y'all no more, but just think about it. Try to encourage somebody to get a trade, person of color. Encourage them to get a trade. College is good and fine, but we need to have something to fall back on. I graduated college in 2013, and there was a lot of college students back then talking about they can't find a job. But if they had a trade, something to fall back on, they'll be good. Ain't nothing wrong with getting a hammer and nails and building something to make some money with. Other than that, it's been a while. I see y'all in these streets right now. I'm looking at the frame. I'll probably go do a video on that, but that's all I'm going to do. I'm going to let it sit till tomorrow. I need to take it back outside or whatever. I think I got 4 or 5 bees in there, and I don't want to let them out inside the house. I want to thank y'all for coming in. Y'all be blessed. Keep praying for the people in North Carolina, the people in Florida. Keep praying for everybody. Y'all be blessed. I love you. And I see y'all in these YouTube streets. Later.